Good morning. My name is Coya Knutson and I'm running to be a state representative. I will work hard to get small family farmers noticed and more money. I have had lots of experience with small family farms as I grew up on one myself. I have talked with many small family farmers while they were milking their cows about the situations they are in. Thank you. The accordion. Coya would sing and play the accordion at her campaign. She also sang and played at every wedding and funeral in her county. That is why I'm playing the accordion. Listening to other people, Coya would go and talk with lots of farmers while they were milking their cows about like the situations they were in, and like because she knew how hard it was on a small family farm because they weren't noticed and they weren't able to get enough money. So you can go to the next one. So, Coya comes out of nowhere to an election. Good afternoon, my name is Coya Knutson and I'm running to be a federal legislator. I'm still working on getting small family farms more money and to be noticed, but I also want to get the first student loan bill written. Thank you. Why was Coya running for office? To get the first student loan bill written and get small family farmers more money. She was still working on this, but her new goal is to get the student loan bill written. And for those of you who don't know what the student loan bill is it's someone's gonna pay you money so you can go to school, but then you're gonna pay them back once you're done. What did she accomplish? Coya became the first woman elected from Congress from Minnesota and the Upper Midwest. She was the first woman on the House of Agriculture Committee and wrote the first student loan bill. So she did accomplish the student loan bill, and she was also the first woman to be elected from Congress from Minnesota and from the Upper Midwest. And she also made it on the House of Agriculture Committee. Good afternoon, my name is Coya Knutson and I'm running to be re-elected as a federal legislator. Many of you probably have seen the Coya Come Home letter that states that a woman's place is in the home. But let me tell you something. When I got on that train to go to Washington, someone asked me to get a student loan bill written, and I did. I have gone where no woman has gone before. I have made history, and I encourage you to do so also. So, this one is when Coya steps up her game. Coya steps up her game when she wins the election for a spot as a federal legislator. So as you can see, I'm still wearing the button. That's a button that she had made, and this is when she's making signs. And when she ran to be a federal legislator, she went against the DFL's rules, the Democratic Farmer Labor Party, to run to be a federal legislator. You can go to the next one. Coya Come Home. Andy, Coya's alcoholic and abusive husband, had been paid by the people running against Coya to sign the letter asking for Coya to come home. So, this is Coya Come Home. Coya still runs for another term as a federal legislator after hearing this. Go home and make a home for your husband and son. as your husband, I compel you to do this. I'm sick and tired of you running around with other men all the time and not your husband. I love you, honey. Andy Knutson. Day published. The eve of Mother's Day, 1958. So those are pictures of Coya, and she's still running. So, so Coya later hired a handwriting expert, and she found out there were people running against her, and they were in her same party. And she loses the election and is never elected to Congress again. You can go to the next one. I found this clip. My dad, me, my sister, my mom, so my family loves the show called Mysteries at the Museum. It's a very good show on history. It's very fascinating because you learn a bunch of things that you don't learn in school. And it's like, why do we not learn this? So here's a clip, short clip on her that they did. So you can go. I think once it loads, you have to refresh. That's how it happens. Yeah, there we go. It takes a minute to work, so.
It's 1958 in Minnesota. Congresswoman Coya Knutson has lost re-election amid scandalous claims she's abandoned her family for her career. But when Coya confronts her husband, he admits that someone put him up to it. So who's really behind Coya's political downfall? Andy explains that Coya's former party colleagues were behind the whole plot. It emerges that Democratic bosses were fuming over Coya's refusal to toe the party line when she was a state legislator.
Coya always put her constituents ahead of the party, and that did not sit well with party leaders.
So they drafted the letter and strong-armed Andy into going along with it. In light of this revelation, Coya petitions the House to review the validity of the election results. But the Congressional Committee concludes the matter is outside their jurisdiction.
Coya was completely crushed.
Coya finally divorces Andy. Yet even though her days in elected office are over, she is eventually appointed by President John F. Kennedy as a liaison for the Office of Civil Defense at the Pentagon. Today, her accordion is on display at the Minnesota History Center, where it serves as a tribute to a trailblazing woman whose people-first politics put her ahead of her time.
So in that clip, you saw at the end that her accordion is on display. Now, I have gone to the Minnesota Historical Society and I didn't see it, but I was with a group, so we had to keep moving. So I could have missed that, but I know for sure it's there. So that's why I'm playing the accordion. Yes, you can see that Andy was an alcoholic and he was abusive. And Coya, when she divorced him, Andy had died from alcoholism, and she did return home to Minnesota, but she never returned home for his funeral. So yeah, and 40 years later, another woman will be finally elected to Congress. Until then, go on out and try your ways. That's what I did.